Beautiful evening, all the grown-up children out there. Today I am going to tell you a bedtime story. And it's not going to be an ordinary bedtime story. It's going to be a combination of a short story and a deep, relaxing hypnosis. So you get to really relax, release, unwind from your day, and then just listen, and perhaps even have some insights at the end. So I want to invite you to really prepare yourself and get your feet nicely tucked in, really creating space for this listening. And you can close your eyes or leave them open and just focus on the sounds. Today, I am going to be taking you on a train. And I'm going to tell you a story that I've been told by a friend of mine. See, once I used to travel from London to Northampton on the train every week, because I studied in Northampton, and so I had to take the train from London Euston and go all the way to Northampton. And sometimes a friend of mine would come with me, and his name was Tom. But Tom was always getting off in Leighton Buzzard. Leighton Buzzard, it's just a town that was on the way. Don't ask me what that name means, it was just a place. And so he was the one who told me this story. See, when you travel on a train for many times during the year, there is so many things happening. And so this is one of the stories that Tom has shared with me, and today I am going to share it with you. So once Tom was traveling on the train from London Euston to Leighton Buzzard, and he was completely alone on the train to begin with. He was completely alone, and he was sitting in this comfortable chair, and he was relaxing because he had some project that he had to finish when he gets home. So really it was a time always for him to unwind. He worked in London and he was on his way home. And he always told me how he loved these journeys when he was alone, because he got to sit down and just listen to the sounds of the train, which he loved. These beautiful sounds of the train just going on the tracks. And he was also watching all this scenery that was passing by. And as he was getting comfortable, he really relaxed his body. He relaxed nicely his back and his shoulders, got really comfortable. Sometimes he would put his feet on the seat even. So all the body was nicely relaxed and comfortable. His hands were relaxed and heavy, and his head and his jaw just started slowly relaxing as well, as the train was passing these beautiful trees and houses and cars. And because it was autumn, as they say in London, not fall, as it was autumn, he saw these beautiful colors of the trees, from yellow and brown and even magenta colors, and a little bit of yellow and golden. All of these beautiful colors helped him to really relax even deeper, feeling so content, finally having a little space for himself, finally being able to just be alone, undisturbed, just being taken by this train, feeling safe, supported, and and really happy, relaxed and happy. And there was one moment while he was enjoying his beautiful journey, and the train stopped at one of the stations, and suddenly 2 people came on the train. It was a father with his son, and this son was maybe 5, maybe 6-year-old, and they sat not too far from Tom, like across in the aisle, sitting there together. And the train started going again, and so they were sharing this journey together now, 3 people on the train. Tom still feeling relaxed and content, and he was looking at the little boy, and the little boy looked a little fidgety. He started like fidgety and moving a lot, and he started noticing there was like a lot of movement going on. And as the train was passing by these beautiful trees and roads and rivers and even some houses and little hills, this little boy started to be increasingly more fidgety, and sometimes he would start like kicking the seat a little bit, and he was moving. And so Tom started wondering like, this little boy, he's got a lot of energy, like he's so small and he has to travel on the train. And within just few minutes or few moments, this little boy started like crawling around. He started being very fidgety. He started crawling and went on the floor, and sometimes he just went on his dad, and the dad just kind of like held him, but he wouldn't stay still. So he was like crawling around and fidgeting, and Tom was just wondering like, that's like very active child. And before he knew it, this little boy started like making these sounds, and increasingly it was like first like just a little bit and then a little bit more. And then this little boy started like kicking the seats and started running around and crawling all over the seats. He started just like, just be very like disruptive even on the train. And so Tom was just watching this because he had, it was like right in front of him across the aisle, but he could see them really well. And so he was wondering what happened, like this boy, he's just okay, like maybe it's enough, he's just being super active. This boy is crawling all over on the floor, on the seats, and the dad didn't say anything. He was just sitting there and he was watching from the window. It looked like he completely ignored this little boy. So Tom was wondering, what really happened? Like, maybe it was stopped in a little bit. So, he was like, just came back into himself and was enjoying the ride. But before he knew it, this little boy started even like screaming sometimes. And he was running on the train and around his dad, and he was really disruptive. And so Tom was really wondering like why his dad is leaving him just being so disruptive. If there was more people, like everyone on the train would know that this little boy's got a lot of energy, and this dad didn't even say one word. Before he knew it, this little boy started really kicking the seats really hard, and he started like making these weird sounds, and he was like almost crawling on the walls, and he was hanging on these bars, and he was playing monkeys or something, and Tom was really thinking, wow, this is just, I can't believe that sometimes the parents just leave these kids do whatever they want. They have absolutely no discipline. He was only 5, and the dad still didn't say even one word to him. So it was almost time for Tom to get off the train. It was almost approaching Leighton Buzzard. And so he was wondering, why is this happening? It was such a weird situation that he's never experienced before. in his imagination, he started really judging this father, saying, this father really is ignoring this son. How come, like he doesn't know what to say? Why is it okay for him? He's probably just thinking about work and without other things, and so he just couldn't believe what was happening. It was really over the top. He told me he's never seen anything like this before. And so just before he got off the train, when it was coming close to the stop by 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, he got up from his seat and went to this father and said, hey, like this boy is just being really disruptive. Why don't you tell him anything? And the father just looked at Tom and he says, his mother just died and none of us really know how to deal with it. And so why am I saying this story to you today? See, sometimes we see things happening, or maybe often, all the time, every day, we see things happening around us, and we are so quick to judge. We are so quick to judge, and we start imagining all these stories about what's happening and what we see, without really investigating, without really taking the time to understand what's really happening. And we judge. And so I told you this story today, so perhaps you can also reflect on your day as you are now completely relaxed and in your bed, tucked in, and perhaps already falling asleep. And maybe there were some parts of your day today where perhaps you were judging someone or something, or perhaps you thought maybe things should be different, or maybe you were even judging people. They should be different than they are. It's something that we do all the time in our thoughts. And so this is an invitation for you just before you go to sleep to really consider that perhaps you don't know if your judgments are based on truth or not. And whatever you judge about others, how disruptive they are, or this and that, just relax even deeper in understanding that often we simply have no idea why are things happening the way they are happening. We assume. And sometimes, often more than not, we do the same thing with people. We judge because we assume something about them. But how do you know it's true? So as you are falling asleep, relaxed and still being on this train with me, this train of thoughts, just little by little, let go of these judgments and thoughts and see them just like, trees when you're on the train. There's trees appearing, and there is houses appearing. So in the same way, see if there is any stories or judgments appearing they appear and you just let them go. There's no need to try to figure it out. No need to try to change somebody or even change anything, even if you wanted to. Do you really think that you have enough information? And how would you know that you have enough information? So just let go and focus on you. Focus on your body and scan your body to see if there is perhaps any remaining tension, any remaining even one tiny little fidget or tension, and breathe through it nicely and just see what it feels like to be so relaxed in this space of non-assuming anything. How do you know you have enough information? So just stay in this space where you feel curious and open, in the space beyond all these judgments and assumptions. And I'm not saying that you are not right. I'm just saying that perhaps you don't have enough information. So just stay open, relaxed, and connected to yourself, to your center, which is always loving, clear, intelligent, and patient. Just this expansive, open space, just like you, and your body is now melting in the bed. That's how it can feel inside. So just notice this space beyond judgments, space beyond assumptions about anything. How do you know anything about anyone if you are not in their shoes? And so just come back into your own body, into your own thoughts, having them come to you and simply leaving, coming and going. And if you do this for a while, you will notice an interesting thing. You will notice that these thoughts simply appear out of nowhere. You're not really picking these thoughts. And so you can, in the same way, you can let them go. These stories and thoughts, judgments. Notice that you don't even know what is your next thought gonna be like. Just like being on a train. You have no idea, while you're looking from the window, what's gonna come next. A tree, or a house, or a river, or a mountain. You just wait, curious, and you enjoy all of it, because it's simply passing by. It's passing by you. No need to stop the whole train and get caught up with one tree. Simply sitting or lying down, completely relaxed, completely present in your body. And the thoughts just appear and go by, just like on a train. And we can see them for what they really are. Thoughts, images, words made of nothingness other than illusions. And with that, my friends, all the grown-up children out there, I hope that you like the story, and I hope that it really brought you deeper in this state when you can truly relax, go beyond of some stories in your day, connect to that true essence of yours, which is beyond all these stories and assumptions and judgments, just for a moment. And from that space, slowly and surely, you'll be entering a deep, very deep sleep, which is going to be rejuvenating from this space of open space, rejuvenating, full of beautiful dreams, perhaps some ideas. And so please like this video if you like this kind of bedtime story combination with relaxation, and please subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Also press the bell on your screen and your device to make sure that you look at notification and you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. So thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful night.